What's up everybody, Derek here, and today I'm going to be doing something that I've never done before, and that is paint a fishing rod. This is just a spinning reel that I had hanging up. Don't really use it much. It was sitting in the corner. It's a 6-foot All-Star. Doesn't look too bad, but I just want to see how paint holds up on one of these rods. See if it actually can change the look of it and make it a new rod to me. It's got a good action to it. It's got all the eyelets and everything, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape off this section to where it doesn't get any paint on it. So it's basically going to be from this part up. And I am going to take this paint it all around. I'm going to tape off the eyelets and this part. And then after that, I'll probably put 3 coats of this on there and then clear coat it afterwards with maybe 1 or 2 coats. But I've got to sand it up, scuff it up a little bit first. And I've got some 1200 grit, which is really fine sandpaper. So I'm just going to run it up through here to kind of scuff it up a little bit so that paint will stick. And then you can use any solvent, but I've got brake cleaner here. And I'm going to use this brake cleaner on this rag just to try to break any oils or anything that are on here so it doesn't make it to where that paint won't stick. And then we'll have a better surface for it to stick to. And taping off everything, just basically everything up above here, I'm going to tape off down here, and then hopefully we got a good rod at the end. So let's get started. Alright, I got it all scuffed up all the way up to the end of the rod tip, but if you can tell, it's lost that gloss to it, so it's really scuffed it up pretty good. So now all I got to do is clean it with this brake cleaner. Just a little bit of this sprayed on here and just rubbing up and down the rod, so then we can tape and it'll stick a little bit better too. Clean it really good. You want to get all those little cracks. We're going to be putting in even the eyelets. That way that tape will stick to them pretty good. Alright, we're all clean. And that right there, see how dirty that is? That's exactly why you want to wipe it down afterwards, because there was probably a lot of oil in the cracks of this thing, and maybe even some of the real magic that I use on some of my lines. So you got to really break that down and clean it up so that paint will stick to it. So now we can tape this thing off. Well, we got our handle all taped off, so it's going to have a good little line around this end right here where the cork is. So now we just need to do the eyelets. Alright, we got the eyelets all taped off, so just the rod will be getting paint. And we got the handle all ready to go, so let's paint. You want to make sure to shake this thing up for at least 30 seconds. And I think I've never done this before, but just like with crankbaits or anything else, if you've ever painted any, you've kind of got to rotate it as you paint it. So let's see how this turns out. Alright, not too bad, man. That is almost exactly the same color as that tape. Doesn't look too bad at all, so I'll probably put 2 more coats on here. It's going to dry fairly quickly because it's kind of warm this morning, so let's go ahead and put another coat on here. I don't know if you can see that color. It's almost exactly the same color as that tape. But let's put on 1 more coat. This is our 3rd coat. Alright, that looks pretty good. I put 3 coats on here. It looks fairly thick. You don't want to go too thick. You just want enough to where it's covering up that underlayer of the color that was on this blank, or what they call the fishing rod blank. So it was black, got that covered up, so now we can put some clear on here. You want to shake this up for about 30 seconds too. Alright, here we go. Alright, we got 1 coat of clear, so now all we need is 1 more coat of clear on here. It's really setting up and it's starting to look really good. Wow, this thing actually looks awesome. This doesn't look like the same rod at all. Hopefully what I can do is I can just let this dry, take this tape off and see how it looks. I gotta let it dry first, but man, this looks pretty sweet. Hopefully this holds up and it doesn't crack all out and look like some janky little rod. I don't know. we'll just have to see. Man, this thing looks sweet. It totally changed the way this thing looks. As you can see, that straight line that's all the way around right there on the cork, I just totally changed it. I've probably had this rod for 10 years or so. It's been quite a while. I'd never really fished with it much, but I've kind of gotten away from these cork handles. I'm not a big fan of them, but hey, for an old rod and just kind of sprucing it up a little bit and changing the way that it looks, doesn't look too bad. So I think I might go and see if I can't go down to the creek here pretty soon and see if I can go catch some fish. So anyways, let me know if you guys have ever done this, and if you do try it, let me know how it turns out. I'd love to hear anything that you guys did or what colors you used. Maybe it turned out pretty sweet, I don't know. But subscribe if you haven't already, like this video if you liked it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.